like to start off by asking you guys to describe the task that you are responsible for at Humber. So, Rossie, do you want to start first?
So thank you, Carissa. Thank you for interviewing us. I'm the program coordinator for the Fashion Management Postgraduate Certificate program, and I also teach in the program as well. Vladimira.
I'm Rossie's colleague, so I also teach in the program, in the Fashion Postgraduate program, and I typically focus on either visual merchandising or sustainability-related issues.
Amazing, amazing. Fashion, I love fashion. If I didn't study media at school, maybe I would have studied fashion. So what kind of career choices led you guys to this role at Humber? If you guys don't mind digging into that. Rossie, I'll start with you again.
In the postgraduate certificate program at Fashion Management, we have two profiles. One is fashion promotions and the other one is fashion innovation and sustainability. So this profile was put in place following the recent, well, not really recent, but the development over the past decade in overall in the socioeconomic, in the settings in the society and also in the fashion industry.
Awesome. Vladimira, would you like to talk about your career choices that led you to this role as well?
So my background is in fashion design, and it has evolved very organically. I have started as a fashion entrepreneur, and also I've added several other roles throughout the years. But then I started as a fashion educator, and at this moment, I also a fashion educator. And when I reflected on the changes that have happened over the years in fashion, I realized that one of the most profound change is the sustainability. When I was being trained as a fashion design student, we really didn't know a lot about sustainable design, about sustainable practices, and also about the way the economy can help sustainability in fashion. And therefore, I believe that sustainability is something that should not only be part of the fashion world, it should be part of the world of education overall. And I'm very, very lucky that I can be part of the sustainability program in fashion here at Humber.
I agree. I think that's such an amazing program to have at Humber, especially to dive into sustainability. And I think it's great that sustainability is one of Humber's core values. And I will just flow into my next question. And I think you touched on this, Vladimira, a bit. But if you'd like to expand more, or Rossie, you can jump in. But why is sustainability important to you? It doesn't have to be work related, but why is it something that's important to you in your life? Rossie, would you like to go first again?
Okay, so as I mentioned, the entire situation of our economy and of the climate and the climate change, what is happening, it's putting in front of us as educators that challenge that we have to educate future citizens that are able to deal with those challenges. So as such, as educators, then it's not of whether we want to do it or not, it's we must do it if we want to survive. So it is something that we have no choice. In a way, we love what we do, but if we care about society and about the environment where we live in, then we really have to do our work. It's like our duty in front of society. So that is why this program was put in place, as I said, and that is why what we do with our work, we try to actually build the citizens of the future, the citizens of tomorrow, the leaders of tomorrow that are going to be executing and that are going to be leading the society towards that better future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Vladimira, you did touch on this before in the previous question, but is there any other reason why sustainability is important to you?
So there is not only the ethical point of view, but also we can look at this as a amazing business opportunity. Um, we, together with Rossie, we've identified a gap. There is a gap in the market. So we see that there are a lot of companies that, in fact, would like to implement more sustainable practices, but they do not have staff. They do not have people who have been trained to be able to implement those practices, because this is a new area, and all companies really have to go and look at their business practices from a different perspective, really forget what they've been doing for the past perhaps 50 years and see what can they do better. But this is not a process that can be done first overnight, and second, you need really well skilled and well prepared team of people to be able to execute this vision. So even if a leader has a vision that their company should go more into have more sustainable practices implemented in their everyday operations. Oftentimes, the business leader say that they see lack of really skilled people, and that's where I see our unique position. The program can really contribute to this, because at the moment when we start talking to students, first of all, they join the program when they're already interested in the area. Second, we've got an amazing faculty. All of us are really being trained in different areas, but we are all bringing everything together and under the leadership from our management, also from the higher management. We've really tried to bring new visions into education. So sustainability is so new and has been so much at the forefront of our strategic perspective that it's not only good for our school, for the college itself, but it's also good for society. And it's also, at the end of the day, very good for business, for any fashion business. And what we've seen is also that typically startup companies are much better at implementing sustainable practices than companies that have been around for many years, because they are just so big, and they've been working under certain leadership for many years, and now it's much more difficult for them to make change.
Right.
Also, there is a huge opportunity for our students to make that change, to be either part of a larger teams or start their own companies. And we've seen a lot of really successful entrepreneurs coming from our program.
That's great. I think that is absolutely amazing that Humber is, as you mentioned, instilling the strategic strategy of sustainability in majority of their programs, so that students can leave on graduation day, and if they want to start their own company one day, they can implement those practices, and then that will help our economy and then help us in the long run.
I just wanted to add something to what Vladimira said, and I think we might actually get into that. We firmly believe that all that change is not a change that is more straightforward, but is a change that has to be done from a holistic perspective, and that's why in the classroom we teach the sustainability from a system design perspective. We firmly believe that a change just in the economy, or change just in an industry, or change just in an area is not possible unless this is a part of a bigger system that works together towards sustainable future. So that's our firm belief, and that's why this is what we teach in the classroom, is sustainability from a system design perspective for a better future.
Amazing, amazing. So another question I'd like to ask you guys is, do you guys contribute to any like environmental or social causes on campus? And if so, what are they?
and Vladimira will add as well. We are very passionate about, as we said, about sustainability, and we support organizations, and we have volunteers of the WWF. Okay, so but I think foremost in our work we're very passionate from a research perspective, because we want to bring what is the latest out of the educational sphere, and we want to implement it in our classroom. So a lot of the work that we do is kind of volunteering. We volunteer in many research projects. We work with smaller companies, entrepreneurs, local as well, and we also do research and present at conferences, and that is actually entirely outside of our workload that we have here. And Vladimira, anything that you want to add?
I see our contribution mostly from the perspective of an educator, because as an educator, you have the opportunity to really bring new knowledge into the classroom. And we know that the moment when any textbook is published, at that particular moment, the textbook is obsolete. And this is really true in the area of sustainability as well, because it's a new and really evolving area, not only of research, but also from the societal point of view. And where we volunteer our time is that we go above and beyond, and we always try to find either new partners, community partners to work with, or startup companies, or even to go and educate ourselves above and beyond what is required by typical course load, so then we can always bring the most current knowledge to the classroom. And what is really beautiful about sustainability is that there is not a single student that doesn't have any opinion about sustainability. So some students are really, really positive about the change, but there are also students not in our particularly in our program, but there might be students who are less involved, and there where I see the opportunity that we in fact can talk to them and present them with facts. We can really tell them stories, show them the facts, and tell them more, and just one step at a time we can bring more people on this board with us, so then they are um, more open to seeing what really needs to be done, because we know that just two of us won't be able to do it, but we can always add a little bit more and little extra work. So I would say we always try to go above and beyond.
That's great.
And I had something small. Carissa, your question first caught me off guard, but then I thought, because usually we don't think like that with Vladimira, we kind of thought that this is normal. In the community involvement, even just kind of in the local community, a lot of times when I go for a walk, I pick up a plastic bag and I collect the things around the park. Even I did a big cleanup during COVID when there was nobody around, and what happened, like from the schoolyard around one of the schools close to me, I collected almost 60 plastic bags full of garbage.
Wow.
And it actually hurt me. Like after the lockdown ended and I had to go again, I pretty much saw everything back to the way it was before. So at the moment, and we were talking with Vladimira, what do we do to our program to actually make our students be those that lead and make a difference in their communities, right? Because I thought we talk about community as a community at the college, but actually during the lockdown, the communities of the students were the communities where they lived. And this is where we would like really to make a difference. We would like to inspire our students and to actually, because our students are leaders, but they just have to believe in themselves, right? So we want to bring that confidence in our students so that they could go out in their community and make that change in sustainability, even just starting with the garbage. And Vladimira, that's our next thing that we're doing. We are working on a next project with Salvation Army. And we're in the visual merchandising class. We are planning to have a project where the students will work with Salvation Army in order to help them, help them make their business model and their work more profitable and more efficient while they're working with textile waste and all that we usually consider as donations or garbage or whatever is there.
I think that's really amazing and important because not only, as faculty and staff of Humber, do we have, responsibility to the students and, to the other faculty and other staff, but, we do have a responsibility to make a change and an impact in the community. And I think you guys are really great examples of, making a difference in the classroom, but also leading and showing them that, we can also make a difference with people outside of Humber. Thank you guys so much. That concludes my interview. I think I learned so much, honestly. I learned amazing things about your program. If I wasn't in a media studies program when I was in university or college, I would definitely took the fashion program at Humber. You guys are doing amazing things, and I think the students are going to do amazing things too, leaving your classrooms. So on the behalf of the Office of Sustainability and Humber community, I'd like to thank you guys for taking your time to highlight your sustainability initiatives. Thanks, you guys.
Carissa.